Hey guys, I had a comment the other day. It was to one of my old videos. I think it was like my old peach hour video. But the guy said, "Hey, sometimes Dave looks like he's in front of a green screen. What's up with that? Anybody else notice that as well?" Well, just want to you know be completely honest and upfront with you guys. Sometimes I'm in front of a green screen. For example, right now I'm in front of a green screen. But now I'm not in front of a green screen. It's a pretty subtle difference, but there is a difference. Now that I'm back here in the real world, I want to talk about this video or get to this video. It may come as a shock to some of you that I am not a perfect pool player. I'll give you a second to catch your breath or stop laughing because you already knew that. Sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I don't get lined up correctly and I shoot anyway. These can be bad things. For example, let's say I'm just going to shoot this 5 down in that corner because I'm not a perfect pool player. I may come back and do everything absolutely right and come down on the shot. And if I stroke straight right now, I'm going to shoot the 5 about right there. What you're supposed to do, if you notice something like that, well, first of all, you're supposed to shoot slowly enough that you have time to notice things like that. Sometimes I'll get in a big giant hurry and shoot anyway, and well, gee, what happened? The ball hit the rail. Well, it's because it's where you aimed it. Anyway, you're supposed to stand up and reset and do everything again until you get it right. Again, I get lazy sometimes. And one of the things that I've caught myself doing, mostly on bank shots, is kind of when it started, was I would be down on a shot. Let's set up a bank here. So cross side on the 5. Get lined up on it, and I'm wrong. Close, because of the whole 40 years of playing thing, but I'm wrong. I can look at it. No, I'm wrong. This ball is gonna hit about right here, unless I really slam it. Instead of getting up and resetting, what I would do is I would pivot my cue stick, not moving anything else on my body. Pivot my cue stick, so now I'm on a different shot line. I'm on the correct shot line. So once I'm on the correct shot line, then I can stroke straight and the ball goes in. I found myself doing that on banks a lot. It's just like especially on like the crossing type of banks. Like I'm going to cross side to 5 in the same pocket. Maybe I don't see this bank that well when I'm up here. But I would find myself coming down, oh, that's wrong, and I would start to pivot. Just pivoting down here until it looked right. And sometimes the ball would go in. Sometimes it would go 2 rails. But I don't know, I just thought, well, that's dumb, Dave. Stop being so lazy, Dave. What I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, though, is messing with that pivoting type of stuff, fine tuning. It's a fine tuning type of pivot for all shots, not just banks. And to my surprise, I've been shooting really well for like a week. I was on PTO vacation last week and messing with this stuff. I like messing with different things. And I found myself, well, I was doing it on purpose in this case, get on a shot. I wouldn't, if I didn't like it, instead of standing up and resetting and doing everything right, I would just pivot on my bridge until it was right and stroke straight. And way more often than not, the ball would go in. Some of you may already be asking the question that I was asking myself. by doing this type of fine-tuning pivot, I'm putting right English or left English or something on the cue ball that when I first bent over, I wasn't planning on doing. Right English, left English, spin, squirt, contact and distro, all kinds of things. What I've kind of found, and I think I just have to admit it to myself, is that my inner pool player, Obi-Wan Mosconi, I've called him, he's handling that for me. This is one of the benefits of playing for as long as I have, is Obi knows what to do if there's a little bit of right English or a little bit of left English on a shot. And he just does. And if I try to allow for whatever I'm doing to the cue ball by doing this pivot, if I try to allow for it, I'm liable to miss. But if I just let Obi shoot the ball, let Obi make the adjustment, it's great. Like I said, I've been shooting really well. I gotta do that. See if y'all are paying attention. Another thing that, well, because I've been thinking about this and going, well, okay, that's a really good improvement, Dave. Can you do it better than that? Can you find a better improvement? And got to thinking about it. This fine tuning type of thing. It's happening in my stroke, my style, whatever. It's happening when I'm at the cue ball. I generally would pause at the cue ball. And now instead of pausing at the cue ball, just looking, I'm doing some kind of fine tuning pivot. There's a few different ways that this can happen. The way I've been doing it, which is leave my body in the same position and just move my stick. This one was exaggeration. Another way I caught myself doing it when I would be really, really lazy is I would move my head, leave my stick in the same place and move my head until it looked right. This never worked, and this is not the right way to do it. Don't just move your head. That's just me being way too lazy. And I've learned that pretty quickly. I mean, I already knew it, but I reminded myself of that pretty quickly, that don't just move your head. But I thought, what if I moved both? What if I pivot and move not just my head but my body to get into alignment? See, if I get lined up on this tube and bend over and don't move my body, my sight of the two ball and the pocket down there are not changing because my head isn't moving. What if I have to adjust, and when I adjust, I move my body at the same time? That would mean that my view of the cue stick stays the same. I move the cue stick over here, but also move my body over here. Over here, move my body over here. To me, I thought, well, that's better. That is a better thing. In my testing, it is absolutely not better. It is absolutely not better. And I don't know why. And I don't like not knowing why. A couple of things that I can think of. Maybe when I get set up on a shot, I'm somewhat balanced. The whole 40 years of playing type of thing. I'm somewhat balanced. If I then pivot and move my entire body, that balance is not going to be the same. It may be completely gone, or I may still be balanced, but it's different. And that may be enough to be throwing off my inner pool player. I mean, I kind of have to think something is throwing off my inner pool player, because he can handle it just fine if I don't move my head, don't move my body, and just pivot and stroke. He can handle that just fine. But if you give me a shot where now I have to pivot counterclockwise with the cue stick, but I'm going to move my head at the same time, I'm moving my entire body from the head from the knees up, I bet, over. But that time I went in, it was an easy shot and a scratch. One of the things I always say to myself when I make pool videos for myself is pay attention to what I say, not necessarily what I do. Balls like to make liars out of me. Much higher success rate for me if I don't move my body, even if I feel like I should. I mean, I'm close. When I go to get on a shot, it's not like I'm lined up to shoot the 5 in now. And I'm going to pivot until it goes in, until it can be made. No, I'm close. And all this little fine tuning stuff is doing is getting me right on it. At least as far as I can tell, getting me right on the shot. If I'm way off, like I said, if I try to bank it, but now I'm lined up this way, hopefully I'm not so damn lazy that I would try and do some type of fine tuning pivot at this point. Then I would get up and reset. That's the hope anyway. But I can get close and I can pivot. And yeah, yay, it's cool when stuff happens. And it is cool that balls are going in with a pretty darn high degree of regularity. You know, my ever advancing age, which has been contributing to the laziness and has probably also been contributing to not being lined up correctly in the first place. Another thought that I had was, again, trying to improve on this. Hey, good improvement, Dave. Make it better. So I got thinking, this has been working best for me with 0 practice strokes. In other words, I just get down on a shot. I'm already paused up here at the cue ball, pivot, and stroke straight. 0 practice strokes, not 1, not even a half, 0. So I have there's no speed of the shot, component to my warm-ups or anything. I've tried. Okay, let's do a couple of practice strokes at least, and then pause, and then pivot. And what was happening, of course, that was going to make a liar out of me, is I wasn't making balls nearly as well. I've talked before about practice strokes, how they can make a player, they can certainly make me think I'm lined up correctly when I'm really not. And I think that's what's happening. If I get on a shot and I take some practice strokes, now maybe my subconscious, maybe Obi doesn't think I need to pivot because I did this. Well, and there we go. So the lack of speed, it's there, but it's not nearly as bad as I guess it could be. Not literally as bad as it could be. If I have to shoot the ball soft, I know how to shoot the ball soft. If I know how to shoot it hard, I know how to shoot it hard. I don't have necessarily a feel going into the shot and how hard I want to hit it. But as I'm pivoting, I just know what you get 40 years. That's the situation with that. And that's this video. Not saying this is what people should do, but maybe people would end up being, well, like me, lazy, can't see as well, old in general. You can do your fine tuning just by moving your head. No, you can't. That was a trick statement. You cannot by just moving your head. But I think you can do it by just moving your stick within reason. And it really does seem to me like you ought to be able to do it moving your stick and your head at the same time. But you may have to tweak your balance at that point. I don't know. All I know is that I've been having a lot of fun the last we can have playing by doing this little fine-tuning pivot stuff. And I'm going to keep doing it until it falls apart. Most things do fall apart for me. So for now, I'm going to go back and put myself into a more comfortable rotation. Ladies,